Hello and welcome to today's lesson in which we are going to talk about, American fast speech. I am from the United States, so just keep that in mind. Most of the things that we're going to be talking about, some of them are very specific to the American accent, and I will point that out. The other thing I want to say is that just because you hear people speaking fast, maybe if you're watching a TV show or movie, that does not mean that you have to speak fast. The most important thing is that everyone understand each other. So again, if anything, I think this can help your listening comprehension. I know that when it comes to speaking, everybody has different learning goals, but I really want to break down why people sound the way they do, why our words and phrases sound the way they do. And we're going to be looking at connected speech, reductions, intonation, emphasis, a little bit of everything. And of course, because this is interactive English, I want you to participate. I would like you to say these sentences with me, say them after me. You can practice shadowing if you like, and then we're going to practice reading a dialogue and saying a dialogue at the end. So I definitely want you to say this out loud. Practice your speaking skills and take advantage of this opportunity. So let's begin with the dialogue. And right now, all I want you to do is just listen to the way that I am saying this dialogue. It's a very short conversation between, let's say, person A and person B. So let's just listen to me say this dialogue. Is your cold getting any better? No, I'm going to get an Uber and go home. But wait, you're going to want to see this. Sorry, I got to get out of here right away. So you just heard me say this dialogue. I said it, I don't think I said it too fast, but it sounded natural. Again, that's another thing that I want to talk about is just that natural rhythm and flow of the English language, especially the American accent. And what we're going to do right now is just look at these sentences, practice saying them, and then we will say this dialogue together. One more time. I'll let you listen to me say it again. Is your cold getting any better? No, I'm going to get an Uber and go home. But wait, you're going to want to see this. Sorry, I got to get out of here right away. So again, think of a situation, I don't know, maybe this is happening at a party and these two people are talking and saying this. So let's look at this first one. And all of the images that I've included, again, just referencing the United States because that is where I'm from, and we're really talking about the American accent. You will find some of the things we're going to discuss. It's pretty common among all different English varieties, but some of it's specific to the U.S. So the first question, is your cold getting any better? The first thing that I want to look at are those first two words right there, is your. And what I want to show you is that assimilation may be taking place. So assimilation is when you have two sounds, they blend together to create a new sound. In this case, we have that z sound in is and the beginning y sound in your. It can blend together and you get a zh sound, like in the word pleasure. And I've given you the IPA symbol right there. Is your. All right, I'm kind of emphasizing it a little bit right now. Is your. Try and say it with me. Is your. One thing I'd like to point out, again, trying to say this naturally, if you're just saying is your and you're saying it quickly, you'll end up doing this naturally. Those sounds will blend together and you're going to hear that slight zh sound, and it's like we're inserting that sound between those two words. Is your. Okay? Is your cold? The next thing that I want to look at, so I've included the IPA or the phonetic spelling up there, is your above it. Looking at the next line, getting any. So getting, if I were to pronounce that ing, that ing, ing, Getting would be, with the American accent, a flap T. It's going to sound like a soft D. However, sometimes when people are speaking and they're using the continuous tense, and I think this is a little more common with the American accent, people may drop that G. And when they drop the G, it's going to change that T sound. So get in, get in. That T, it's going to now become a glottal T, because you have the T comes before a vowel, in between two vowel sounds, and then it's followed by an N sound. Gettin', gettin'. So the T comes between two vowels and then followed by an N. Gettin'. So repeat after me. Gettin', mountain, kitten. Okay, those are also words where you have that T, which is followed by a vowel, followed by an N sound. Gettin' any. The other thing, linking may occur. Linking is when you have one word, it ends with a consonant sound. It may get linked with the next word that begins with a vowel sound. Gettin' any, gettin' any, gettin' any. Say it with me. Gettin' any, gettin' any. That glottal T, it's almost like you're swallowing that T. It's coming from down here, that glottis. Gettin' any. Is your cold getting any better? And better, again, that is a flap T in the American accent. Comes between two vowel sounds, so it's going to sound like that soft D. The other thing that I'd mentioned, this is a question. Sometimes with those yes-no questions, you'll have that rising intonation at the end. Is your cold getting any better? Is your cold getting any better? Do you have a cup? If I were to say, like, is this your phone? And again, you hear that rising intonation. So let's look at this sentence right here. Just practice saying it with me right now, out loud. I'll say it slowly. Is your cold getting any better? Is your cold getting any better? Now let's say it quicker. Is your cold getting any better? Is your cold getting any better? Some of you I know who have taken my speaking course, Giuseppe, Takayo, we've practiced this, especially specifically this sentence. Is your cold getting any better? So this is the first one, and what I'd like to know, I'm curious. Hopefully I want you practicing this and saying it with me. I want to know how difficult was this to say. So I'm going to put this down in the chat. I'd like to hear. So how difficult is this for you? Let me put this down here real quickly. Okay, so I've put down this poll. How difficult do you think this question is to say it the same way that I was? Is your cold getting any better? Do you find it easy? If it's easy, one. If you find it difficult for you to say it just like I am, then 5 would be difficult. So let me know, what do you think? Again, it's actually only given me 2 choices. They're only easy or difficult. And you can tell me what you think. So the next one that I want to look at, but before we do, I'd like to mention that if you're interested, I have a speaking course that's going to start. This is a course for intermediate to advanced speakers, and it's all about helping you speak confidently, speak clearly, speak naturally. We start each lesson with activities like we're doing today, talking about connected speech, pronunciation, and then we go into our topic, learn new vocabulary, have discussion. Some of you that I see who are in here have taken the course before. Takaya, Giuseppe. I do want to give a shout out. Hello, Vicky, Gustav. Good to see you. But you can check out the link in the description down below. I'll also include it in the chat. And you can use the code SPEAK20 to get $20 off the course fee. So check that out if you're interested in practicing and improving your speaking skills. The next sentence that we're looking at is this one. If I were to say each individual word, I'm going to get an Uber and go home. So I'm not going to say it like that. I would say, I'm going to get an Uber and go home. So let's look at what's going on. The first thing that I want to point out would be reductions. Reductions is when you basically end up removing some sounds, and this allows us to say things, well, in a shorter amount of time. We can just say things faster. Now, I'm sure that you've probably heard going to getting reduced to gonna. So you could say, I'm gonna. It's perfectly fine. Or if you want to reduce this even further, I'm going to, it may sound like I'm gonna. And I want you, this may feel a little strange if you're saying this out loud. I'm gonna, give it a try. But definitely listen for it. If you're watching a TV show or movie, you'll hear this. Instead of somebody saying, I'm gonna, it's gonna just sound like I'm gonna. And you don't even hear that g sound in going to or gonna. I'm gonna. So when I practice this and when we do this, I just give it a try, see how comfortable it feels, really reducing I'm going to, and we'll just try and say I'm gonna. All right, so let's look at the next part. I'm gonna, and more linking can occur, but one thing I'd like to point out, get and, that T in get, with the American accent, it comes between two vowels. It'll turn into a flap T, and then linking can occur. We can link that flap T with the vowel sound in an, and then we can link that final n sound with the vowel sound in Uber. Get an Uber. Get an Uber. Get an Uber. Say it with me. Get an Uber. One more time. Get an Uber. Here's what it looks like right here. So I gave you the phonetic spelling up here, get an Uber. And it's almost like we're moving that consonant sound over to the next syllable. Get an Uber. Get an Uber. There's also another reduction. And is often reduced to just n. And this is quite common in spoken English. Instead of saying and, you would hear people just say n. And once we do that, all right, we're left with this. So I'll say it slowly. I want you to say it with me. It's good to practice speaking out loud. I'm going to get an Uber and go home. One more time. I'm going to get an Uber and go home. And then if we were to say this a little faster, I'm going to get an Uber and go home. Try and say it with me and try to keep that same pace. I'm going to get an Uber and go home. And I tried to break it down in 3 different parts. That first one, I'm going to get an Uber and go home. I'm going to get an Uber and go home. I'm going to get an Uber and go home. One more time. I'm going to get an Uber and go home. Okay, so what do you think? What do you think of this one? Again, easy or difficult? I'm not really giving you too many options here, but again, I'd like to hear from you and let me know what you think, whether or not it's easy or difficult. So most of you, I think, had an easier time with that first one. You can see, I think many of you thought it was easy. So let me poll you for this next one too. While we're here, I'm gonna get an Uber and go home. All right, keep practicing that. And like I said, everybody has different goals. When I've talked to a lot of learners, some people do not feel comfortable with that I'm gonna. It feels strange. And once again, if you find something like, okay, this doesn't work for me, then yeah, you should never feel like you have to speak a certain way. Let me put this poll together. Okay, So hopefully, again, you were practicing this. What do you think about this one? I'm going to get an Uber and go home. Do you find this sentence easier or difficult? Again, I'm kind of curious. And we're going to put all of this together at the end once we go through and we're going to practice that dialogue that I read, that I said at the very beginning. So let's look at the next part, the next sentence. There's again, all these images of the United States. We're talking more about the American accent. You're going to want to see this. There is really one thing happening, but it's happening one after the other. And we're talking about more reductions. So this one I think is a little more straightforward, but once again, it may feel a little awkward. So going to, we'll reduce that to gonna. Want to, we can reduce that to wanna. Gonna, wanna. The thing that what makes this sentence perhaps a little more challenging is that you have one reduction right after the other. Gonna, wanna. You're gonna wanna see this. And when we reduce these phrases, these are not stressed sounds. These are weaker sounds, which is why, again, they're getting reduced. You're going to want to see this. You're going to want to see this. Let's practice this one together so we have that gonna wanna. I'll say it slowly. Just say it with me. You're gonna wanna see this. One more time. You're gonna wanna see this. You have that gonna wanna. Now let's speed it up a little bit. You're gonna wanna see this. You're going to want to see this. If we just said it like naturally, oh, hey, you're going to want to see this. You're going to want to see this. So I think, again, gonna and wanna, two very common reductions in spoken English. I'm sure you've heard these. Perhaps many of you already use these reductions as part of your speaking fluency right now. I don't know how often you may use one after the other, but that's what I wanted to practice if somebody were to say, oh, you're going to want to see this, or you're going to want to hear this. So what do you think about this one? Easy or difficult? Let me know. I think that this one may be a little more, maybe a little easier for all of you. We're just talking about these reductions. The last one, okay, everybody had, well, still a little bit more of a difficult time with that one. But let me ask you about this one. So once again, I'm gonna let you tell me what you thought of this right here. Let's see. How is it? So again, you're going to want to see this. You're going to want to see this. You can just practice it with me as I'm inputting this information. Okay, let me ask you. So what do you think about this sentence right here? One reduction right after the other. You're going to want to see this. You're going to want to see this. And once again, just to reiterate, this is not something that you have to use. I do think this is useful for your listening comprehension, because if you're watching a movie or TV show or listening to somebody on the street, if you're visiting or living in the United States, there it is, you're gonna hear people using these reductions. So let's look at the next one right here. So this was the other sentence that, if I were to say this slowly, I got to get out of here right away. I got to get out of here right away. And in that case, I'm trying to pronounce the individual words. And for me, it sounds a little, it's a little difficult to do that, to say it, pronouncing each individual word. So let's look at what's going on, because what I would say is, I got to get out of here right away. And the first thing that I'm going to do is reduce got to, another common reduction in spoken English, and it's going to sound like gotta. I gotta. I gotta. Say it with me. I gotta. I gotta. And you hear that schwa sound. Gotta. Gotta. It's also, even though I spelled it with a T, it is still more of a flap T. You hear that soft D. Gotta. Gotta. And then the next phrase, get out of. Out of is you hear this phrase in many different sentences, and this is another good example of linking, and we can actually link this whole phrase together. And the final T in get and out. With the American accent, it's going to be a flap T. Get out of. And then we can link all of this together. Get out of. Say it with me. Get out of. Get out of. I put it right here so you can see that phonetic spelling. Hopefully it makes it a little easier if you're practicing. Get out of. Get out of. Get out of. And then right away. So this, once again, flap T. You notice how common the flap T is in the United States. It's very, very often used. And we can link that flap T with the vowel sound in away. Right away. Right away. I gotta get out of here right away. So say it with me. We'll say it slowly. I gotta get out of here right away. I gotta get out of here right away. And then if we were to say it faster, I gotta get out of here right away. I gotta get out of here right away. You have that sense of urgency. Oh, I gotta get out of here right away. I can't stay. I gotta get out of here right away. Okay, so there's that other phonetic spell, right away. I gotta get out of here right away. All right, once again, let me know what you think of this sentence and just kind of polling you guys. So that last one, when we talked about those reductions, that definitely seemed like it was a bit easier with that gonna wanna. So let me know. This one has a few more things going on in it if we're talking about reductions as well as linking and those flap T's. So let's see. I gotta get out of here right away. What do you think about this sentence? Easy to say or a little more difficult? You can let me know your thoughts right now. And what I would like to do is we're going to put all of this together and practice the dialogue that I showed you at the very beginning. So notice each one we went over each of these sentences. I did add a couple like no or but wait or sorry. So before we practice, we're going to do this together. I just want you to listen to me say it one more time. I'll say it slowly and then faster, and then we will practice. So slowly, just listen for those things we talked about. Is your cold getting any better? No. I'm going to get an Uber and go home. But wait, you're going to want to see this. Sorry, I got to get out of here right away. Now, let me say it at full speed, okay? And then we'll practice. Is your cold getting any better? No, I'm going to get an Uber and go home. But wait, you're going to want to see this. Sorry, I got to get out of here right away. All right, now let's practice. I am going to read A. I want you to say B. And I want you to say this out loud and like we're just saying this dialogue together. So I will be A, you be B, and we'll practice. Ready? Here we go. Is your cold getting any better? But wait, you're going to want to see this. Okay, good. Now let's switch. I want you to say you're going to be A, and I will say B, and we'll practice this again. So ready? You can begin. 1, 2, 3, go. No, I'm going to get an Uber and go home. Sorry, I got to get out of here right away. Okay, all right, so this whole lesson is just about giving you an opportunity to practice some of your speaking skills and work on some of the different things that are going on. Like I said, If you don't feel comfortable using assimilation or linking or reductions, that's perfectly okay. It's not something you have to do. I do think it's good to get a feel for it and understand it and listen to it, because it will help your overall listening comprehension, because you're going to hear this when you're watching a TV show or movie. And people are going to use is your, and they're going to blend those two sounds together. Or they're going to link get an Uber, and you'll hear that linking. So if you participated in the lesson, I just want you to let me know. Just write speaking down in the comments. That tells me that you were practicing, you were saying these sentences out loud, which is really what I want. So write speaking if you were participating and actually practicing your skills. Let's see, the results of the last one. Sentence, well, maybe it was a little more challenging. Again, I think when you have some of these different things going on, it becomes a little more difficult. Like that last sentence, I gotta get out of, and link that phrase together. I gotta get out of here right away. I gotta get out of here right away. It can be a little trickier, but once again, it's all about getting that practice. Not just about speaking fast, but just speaking naturally, because this is how you're going to hear other people speak if you are in the United States. So I just want to say thank you for participating. Great job. Eloisa, Galia, Shaima, Diaz, Abdurrahman, Gulsuran, Alexander, excellent. I'm always happy when people are practicing, and again, just this is an opportunity to actually work a little bit on your speaking skills. And just as a quick reminder, again, if you're interested, where is it? Maybe right here. Nope. You can check out my speaking course. Link is down in the description. If you want to check out class times availability, use that code SPEAK20 to get $20 off the course fee. So if you enjoyed the lesson, please hit that like button. That tells me that maybe I should do more of these lessons in the future. And again, thank you guys so much for joining me. Saul, Odia, Takayo, great to see you. I will see you soon in the upcoming course. Stamata Lumi, Rio, sorry if I mispronounce some names, but I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I will see you